Hello everybody. I'll give you a little introduction to our Colorado Dual Sprt ride and camp out August the 9th through the 16th. That was a Thursday through a Thursday 2012. Alan Jackson, Pat McNamara, and Cecil Self were the riders, and we were riding in the Silverton, Colorado area. Alan and I left Thursday morning about 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was a travel day. We were trying to make it up to Durango or Silverton. However, we had the equipment had other plans. We blew a tire on the trailer, on Perry's trailer, just east of Sweetwater. Had to get 2 new tires put on the trailer at Sweetwater about 8 o'clock that morning, a little after. And then when we made it to Clovis, we started having fuel problems with the van and got stranded on the road a couple of times, changed the fuel filter, and that wasn't the solution. So we wound up stranded almost out to Melrose, I think, west of Clovis, and had to be towed and hauled back to Clovis for repairs, so we had no time for pictures that day. Alan took a couple of pictures of the van on the tow truck once he finally got there, out on Highway 84 west of Clovis. There's another one. You can see how the tires are squatting down on the back of the tow truck. On Friday, August the 10th, after getting the fuel pump replaced at the Ford dealership, which took all day, and they were finished up about 4 p.m., we started our travel day and night from Clovis, New Mexico to Durango, Colorado, with a little tire trouble on the van in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So there was very limited time for video and pictures. We did make it on after getting the tire switched out and buying a couple of tires at the Walmart there in Albuquerque, just so we'd have some extra tires if we did blow another tire. We made it on up to Walmart in Durango parking lot and had a couple of hours of sleep Saturday morning. Then we got 2 new tires put on the van there in Durango, J&P tire, and then headed on up to Silverton to meet Pat. Well, this is about our motorcycle trip to Colorado, August of 2012. Alan and I made it to Clovis, New Mexico, and the van fuel pump or fuel filter quit working. Van quit rolling. We quit making any headway towards Colorado, so we are in the True Value Inn. The van is in the Ford house right down the street, a couple of blocks, and Alan has gone to pick it up. It's about 2:30. Hopefully they'll get it done this afternoon so we can go on to Silverton or Colorado or Durango or somewhere and meet up with Pat on Saturday morning. Anyway, I've got the bikes loaded back on the trailer. Town. I'm trying to set in what little bit of shade there is right here along this wall. Got everything ready to throw in the van, hook it up, and we're going to head on up the road and hopefully make it all the way to Silverton and back. Anyway, we're signing off. Waiting on Alan to pick up the van at the Ford place there in Clovis. I took a few still pictures. We stayed at the America's Best Value Inn on that Thursday night, and we were sort of hanging around there as long as we could, waiting on the van and the foreign owner of the inn kept checking on us to see if we had gotten out of there. They cleaned the rooms and everything, but then finally he said came by about 1:45, and Alan and I were laying on the beds, which had already been cleaned and made up and stuff, and he told us if we didn't get out by 2, he's going to have to charge us for another half a day at least. And so we told him we'd get out of there ASAP, and we got out of the room in about 5 minutes. And so I sat outside while Alan went back to the Ford place and waited on the van, which finally got ready about 4 o'clock. And so Alan picked me up, and we hooked up the trailer, and we hooked them to Colorado best we could. One of the places that we were given was Laverne's, that yellow building there beside the castle, but he was so busy he said he couldn't help us, so we wound up going to the Ford place. And there was a friend named Gary, I believe, that was staying in the room there where the silver Suburban is. He was a motorcycle rider too, and was very helpful, trying to help us find a place to get work done. Offered to let me stay in his room while it was so hot outside waiting on Alan, but didn't take him up on that, because by that time it was nice and shady where I was, and a good breeze blowing, so it wasn't bad at all. And there's a picture of us taking the van in that morning to the Ford place, and they got on it and worked it in and did the best they could. Got us going again. And then that night, as we were approaching Albuquerque, we started feeling a bumping, and then checked the tires and the trailer and the van. We didn't see anything wrong, but right after we turned on I-25 there in Albuquerque, we knew something was definitely wrong, because we could hear it bumping and plopping and stuff. So we got off the road at a Shell station there on the north side of Albuquerque, changed the tire, and then we aired up the spare tire that we'd put on, and it was a pretty good tire. It just was old and didn't look too good, but it held up. We decided to go on, try to find a tire or two, and we found a couple of tires at the Walmart right down the street a ways there in Albuquerque, but we couldn't get them put on. So we just put them in the van and headed on up the road to Bernalillo, and then on up to Cuba, Bloomfield, and made it all the way to Albuquerque, and got there about 4 or 4:30 in the morning, and we took a little nap there a couple of hours before the sun came up. And anyway, wound up trading those 2 tires in that we bought in Albuquerque, because they were not going to work either. They were pretty lightweight SUV tires. So we found a place on the north side of town called J&P Tires. Young man there, and in fact he was all by himself when we got there about 8 o'clock or so, and he had 2 good heavy-duty tires for us, put them on, got us back on the road by 9 o'clock or so. So we were on our way to Silverton out of Durango by about 9 o'clock to meet up with Pat. On August 11th, which was Saturday, we went from Durango, Colorado, to Silverton to meet up with Pat at the staging area just north of Silverton around 10 o'clock a.m. We went on up the Animas River Valley or Canyon or Gulch or whatever they want to call it. We located a free campsite on Maggie Creek, on the Maggie Gulch, with the creek running right behind the campsite, and we set up our camp. Alan took this picture of the mountains west of Durango on Saturday morning. We were looking for a place to get some tires going up towards Silverton on 550. Started seeing some mountains on the side of the road, and the aspen trees looked a little sick for some reason, like they'd been burned or something. More of the same. There's a pretty mountain off in the distance. Here's some shots that I took on the way up 550 going towards Durango, from Durango to Silverton. There's the pointed mountain that Alan had just taken a picture of. And there's some mountains off to the east of the highway. We're following right along the railroad tracks, the narrow gauge railroad, Silverton, Durango railroad tracks. We made it on up to Mullis Pass and took several pictures, and Alan did too. Anna took a little movie video of it too. So there's a view of the valley, very scenic mountains around Mullis Pass, and a couple of lakes. There's a couple of little small lakes up by the top, and then there's down in the valley a little bit further down is the Mullis Lake, and very pretty little area there. Nice place to camp. Some more of the mountains around Mullis Pass looking to the east, I believe. And that's to the north towards Silverton. You can see the Silverton Valley off in the distance there. We're only about 5 or 6 miles away from Silverton at that point. And that's looking back towards the west. Alan had a close-up shot of those mountains there. And here's some of the billboards that talks about the volcanoes and the different mineral deposits and glaciers and stuff like that that help form the area. And the Winninooch watershed area that forms the headwaters of the Rio Grande River up at Stony Pass, not too far from where we are. I believe this is up at Mullis Pass looking to the west. Took several pictures there. That's looking towards the east. Michael and Jean and the girls caught up with us there, and we visited a little bit. That's a fuzzy picture of Mullis Lake way down below the pass from the overlook there. Real scenic area though. There I am taking a few pictures. You get another view of Mullis Lake down below in the campground, the mountains to the east. Well, we've made it up to Mullis Pass on our way to Silverton Saturday morning, about 9:30. We're running a little bit late meeting up with Pat, but can't be helped. We can only go so fast up and down the hills. So we're going to take in the view a little bit and give the van a rest. Mullis Pass, 10,910 feet elevation. There's the bikes and the 2 old tires on it. New tires on the van on the back. Last year, Alan, there was snow all the way up there.
I can feel the ground moving.
Yeah.
I'm experiencing
Let's walk up that way.
Yeah. Your dog doesn't realize it's high altitude, does it?
What is that?
I say your dog doesn't realize this is high altitude. He's accustomed to it? Oh, I'm not at all.
You better drink a lot of water then.
Oh, Thank you for that. Thank you.
Alan's sort of
Ever felt drunk?
altitude drunk. Don't come up here too far, because it goes downhill real fast. There's Molus Lake down there, Molus Campground. A beautiful area right here. Got some bikes, or a bike. Coming into Silverton on 550. Alan's taking pictures right out the window of Silverton below. A little clearer picture of the town. That's Main Street. There's another picture. And this is around Silverton, the view looking east of the red mountain there. I believe it's east. There's a view of Fuzzy Mountain. Found our campsite there. I believe it's right close to the Middleton mine there. I believe that's right. And anyway, on the Animas River, and there's a little creek flowing behind our campsite. This is a picture of the little pool there that somebody made, evidently for either taking a bath or dipping water. That's how it looked originally. Alan modified it to where we could get out in the middle of it and get some water a little without falling in. And trimmed a few trees there too in the process. You may notice that later there's less trees after Alan got through there. Anyway, this was we think this is Maggie Creek, and got our tents pretty well set up, and we're in the shade and relaxing a little bit. There's Pat. There's Alan. We're all a little sleepy, especially Alan and I are, because we didn't get much sleep the night before. But this is about it was about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's some of the scenery looking to the west across the Animas River Valley at the mountains. And there's looking north. Notice the aspen trees and then the mountain up above there. And the Maggie Gulch Road goes up through above those aspen trees there, back up to towards the mountains to the right, which we ride on Monday afternoon, I think. There's what our campsite looked like at dusk. It wasn't quite that dark, but the camera took it that dark. Anyway, we had our campsite all set up. It was a really nice campsite. A little spread out though. On Sunday, August the 12th, we decided we would ride Stony Pass, and after breakfast we rode up the Stony Pass Road and went over the pass, and everything was going fine until we started down the east side, and we ran into the rocky, steep section where Alan and I just had to kill our bikes and just inch our way over the big rocks. Pat just took his time and idled over them, and it just about wore us out. It was pretty strenuous and hair-raising. Anyway, after we got through that rocky section, and crossed I think it was the Pole Creek area, and without getting too wet, we rode on down the Stony Pass Road, following the Rio Grande River to the Rio Grande Reservoir, which was absolutely gorgeous. We had lunch on a scenic high overlook above the lake. Then we rode back up Stony Pass Road, going towards the west and northwest, to the Lost Trail Creek off-highway vehicle or four-wheeler trailhead for the trail number 821, and rode north on it to meet the Cinnamon Pass Road. This proved to be very challenging for us on two wheels. Pat didn't have any problems with the four-wheeler, being four-wheel drive and stuff, but we had to cross a couple of creeks, real rocky bottom, and then there was 2 or 3 hills that were pretty challenging, and then we got to one that towards the end of the difficult section on 821, where we did basically a hill climb, probably a couple hundred yards up a pretty steep dirt track, and Alan's bike couldn't pull him up. He made it maybe 15-20 yards up the up the mountainside, and it went just straight up the mountainside. We wound up having to pull Alan's bike with a rider on it, walking behind Pat's four-wheeler as he towed us up the mountainside. And we got over that, then it was pretty much all the way downhill till we hit the Cinnamon Pass Road, and then but it was getting late in the day, and we wound up going over the pass in the darkness, and we didn't get back to camp till about 10 or 10:30. We had supper, and then went to bed by about 12:30 a.m. on Monday morning. The distance we traveled was approximately 71 miles, but they were very, very challenging for us two-wheelers. There is the sun hitting the mountainside over there. Got a little campfire going. Morning, Alan.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Doing better.
Yeah. Good night's sleep sure helps. We're wrapping up breakfast here. Little oatmeal and cereal. Morning, Pat.
Good morning, Rachel.
Never got cold at all in the van.
Morning, Cecil. Hey.
Well, you have little friends keep you warm. Do you sleep with you? Or?
I haven't seen him yet.
Made a mess in the van. He likes paper towels. Tore little bitty pieces of paper towel up.
Take them back and put them in his nest and make his bed.
Yeah.
Plastic around them cookies. He didn't eat the cookies. That's how much killed that sugar. That blue and white.
We're pretty good walk to the van every time we need something else that we forgot to bring over here to the campsite. But this is really a nice campsite. Feels like it's about in the 50s, low 50s maybe. Maybe cooler than that. No wind blowing. Sun hadn't come over the mountains yet. Probably won't come over till 10 o'clock, will it? 9 o'clock or so. There's our bikes. Unloaded the wood and covered it up with plastic. Brushy teethy. Got to do that. Said I got to do that. Sun's got the whole west side.
You got some toothpaste on board.
Trying to let the fire burn down.
Hey,
Yeah, campers down there, huh? What's that?
I don't know. Is it an insect or is it somebody's medicine?
I think it's some sort of insect.
Some kind of cocoon, isn't it?
Yeah,
I've never seen one, but of course I've never been
here that much.
Might be a Martian.
We got water hot.
Matt,
Oh yeah.
Huh?
did you drop one of your medicine, your pills, or your
Yeah.
medicine?
Probably did.
I
Yeah.
don't know what it is.
I look like
you
more
think
like
it's
it.
an insect?
Yeah. Some kind of
Our shelter.
It's gonna be a little wasp or something.
In case it rains.
All right. I'll put him over where we won't get
Huh?
stepped on, and we might watch him grow up to a
Yeah.
little boy. Little boy bug, you know.
Yeah. On the creek side of our camp. Little trail. Hear that all night long last night. Sure sounded good. We're going down, going to Animas River. And there's a big cliff right there, probably 75 feet tall. There's a latrine. Did you get my cup too, Pat?
Is this your cup here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want me to put it in the Cheerios box or where you want to put it?
Huh? Just put it over there with that other stuff, other mess kits and stuff. Hey.
Cecil, I wish I had voice. Cecil was walking around, he's the paid photographer.
We got a lot more room in the van now
A lot more.
and a whole lot less weight. That's probably 100, 200 pounds of wood.
I bet it's 200. Each one of those logs weighed 10 pounds.
Yeah. You know, I thought this wood would have just burned up in no time, but
Yes,
it's
Pat.
You keep camping with Cecil, you might get you a one-ton dually.
Huh?
You keep camping with Cecil, you might get you a one-ton dually, boy.
I agree. It's
postcard picture.
there's good and bad with that van too. You know, I'm really.
Oh yeah.
I've camped in it, gone, you know, other times besides Cecil. It's failed sometimes, and
That mountain right to our east, I don't know the name of it, but it's way above tree line. It goes way on up there.
yeah. Well, I bought that van.
We may ride up that way today. And then we set up camp, and this is Sunday morning. I believe we had just had breakfast. I still had my moccasins on, and we were fixing to head out to Stony Pass. That's our little lean-to there. Our cover to keep us out of the rain when it did rain. There's a view back towards the little road and our motorcycles and four-wheelers and van and trailer and stuff. Had quite a walk from our van to the campsite, kitchen area. Wasn't too bad, but it got old after a while. We're taking each other's pictures there. This is a picture of the creek, Maggie Creek, I believe, right behind our kitchen area there in latrine. The water's just rustling over the rocks, and really was a nice, comforting sound to sleep to. And that's where we got our bathing water and stuff like that, but not our drinking water. Another view of it. There's our makeshift latrine. We modified that considerably later with a porta potty. Worked a lot better. There I am trying to clean up our kitchen area before we head out. Another view from the latrine area looking out towards the campfire off to the left, my tent off to the right, Pat's tent behind the tree down there by the four-wheeler, and then the van out there on the little road. That's looking back from across the street back up at our campsite. Very pretty and secluded campsite. We really got a good campsite there thanks to the young lady that told us about it. We were going to camp over there by the pit toilets, which would have been bad. There's Pat coming back from down by the pit toilets in the camping area across the street.
Over my tent.
Okay. And it was about right there.
No, it wasn't.
Push. Now it's recording, it's showing it there.
Okay.
Okay, y'all ready to eat?
I'm ready to go get my rain suit.
Does this thing have a talkie in it?
Yeah. I don't guess nobody else is gonna get it for me, so I guess I'll have to go get it.
Walk in the rain, Pat.
Walking in the rain, get my rain suit.
Go into his tent.
We're going on down towards Silverton. Animas River right there. Pat's in the lead, Alan's behind me. Alan stopped for me. I don't know if his bike quit or he's just stopping for me. Idling along in high gear going down. That's Silverton right down there. Going up Stony Pass Road. Problems again with the camera changing hands and stuff. Dusty. Boy, the mountains are pretty. Here's an old mine. Water's still dammed up there, looks like. Flowing through there. And there they are around the corner, going on up. Another mine or something building. Some sort of gondola deal or something right here, I guess, going up to the ski lifts here. But it looked like an old mine back there, or it may be part of this deal here. Powerhouse.
For the last man watching for the last man. I don't want you to be hurt and not lay there by yourself.
We're going on up the hill.
This is pretty tight. Really is. It gets pretty fun to go. Of course, it gets more technical too.
Yeah.
You see that you don't think you can make it stop and see some right enough.
Well, is it because it's steep?
Yeah, steep and long.
We'll see.
Is it worse than King Kong?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think
Nobody could make it.
That's the big bend you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard y'all talk about that. looks like somebody started fixing that old wheel up that had windows in it and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, see, it's got big windows in it. I bet you that thing they found out was a money pit.
Yeah. We're looking back down the way we just came up. Pretty steep little switchback. Alan made it. Hey, Pat.
That corporal tunnel in that arm, that hand,
Giving a workout?
that don't, Debbie says that don't help the movement. When the nerve is pinched,
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to affect, I don't know how that'll affect me yet,
Yeah.
but it is easing up now.
Yeah.
It used to get real bad and they did that surgery and fixed it.
Yeah.
I stopped and picked up that glove.
What glove?
That glove,
Glove,
Oh.
and no, it's a brown one.
Oh, okay.
I saw
See
it
a guy
there.
with one glove, tell him I got it.
Oh, okay.
It's a line work glove looking thing, it's got a lining in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we'll find it today. What about our
Now we're going on up and around the corner.
Up here that I had. Just what? That's down
I think that road goes up there and dead ends, but there's a pretty waterfall way up there, a little stream coming down the mountain.
Echo. But the low gear from low to second had a big jump. Oh yeah, well you don't mind the big jump for that. Right.
Comes some more four-wheelers. Huh? Go up where? There's a mine up there.
Yeah. That guy told Michael, he said, you don't go up there, it's rough, too rough.
Yesterday there was about 12. They weren't Jeeps, but they were rent side-by-side or four-seater vehicles. All went by
Back down
same
towards
time.
Silverton there.
They were like rental vehicles. They had signs on the
You'll
side.
see tons of razors, Polaris razors.
And I guess those, maybe the company
This is the main road.
or driving
actually.
people.
I don't know, they rent a lot of razors.
This little switchback goes up to a mine.
Is that what's up there, a mine?
An old mine. It says it's pretty interesting.
Look here, look at this old mine right there. Look at that, I never noticed that.
Yeah.
That's where we'd have gone if we'd have taken that other road a bit.
Yeah.
Wonder how do they feel about you going and piddling around in them old places?
I think that's the Gary Owen mine.
I'm not sure, Alan. I don't imagine nobody.
They'll have signs posted if you don't want
Yeah.
if they don't want you
They
in.
have, but most of them have no postage signs on it. See, that's the old mill.
Ahead of us?
No, one behind us. Oh, we just stop to take pictures. It don't matter. You're not gonna hold us back. We're gonna stop to take pictures. You're pretty fast. Huh? I can't keep up with. Yeah, I know this. I can't keep up with him.
Morning.
They're scenic, huh?
I get twice bumps y'all get. Oh, he's. I've never seen it this rough up here before.
I found a beige glove down there in the road. Somebody, if you know anybody's lost a beige glove, just let me know. I'll put it on the rest of the wall.
You guys stop me. You want me to go? How you doing there? You want me to go or you guys go?
No, go ahead.
Going on up towards Stony Pass. See the pickup that passed us a while ago. Well, it's pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. How far back would the tree line be?
Oh, it's another several hundred feet below us.
Yeah.
where the trees start.
Huh?
It's where the trees start.
Yeah.
Stony Pass, elevation 12,650. Protect the environment. It is unlawful to drive or park off roads. Thank you. We're looking back towards Silverton. I believe this is the Continental Divide right here too, I believe. There always seems to be some little lakes up here.
Well, I just never, I wouldn't know till I could evaluate around Waco.
I know on that one it made the difference.
Well, it's sure making, I mean, mine is working so good, I can't say what. Seems to walk over closer to Pat.
Okay.
Let me get this side.
Not too close though. Boy, you think just a little bit of walking with exertion you have to put out. Think
Yeah.
about those old miners
Yeah.
swinging a pick and shovel for 10 or 12 hours a day.
Let me do it again. I can't read the words.
Yeah, come on up where you read. That's more important than who's in the picture. You just think how much it
Yeah. Well,
gets you
they,
panting.
of course, they get used to
Yeah, I
it
can
some,
now.
but you can't get used to it all the way because there's
Kinda
just not
like
enough
humidity.
oxygen.
You might learn to tolerate it, but you ain't gonna get
That's what I'm saying.
like down in the Andes and down in there
Yeah.
where those people have lived for centuries, and they all got big barrel chests, big lung capacities,
Yeah.
and I'm sure they got pretty strong hearts
Yeah.
because it takes a combination. A little bit of a weak heart. Cecil, if you want to strike out, go through here and then go up that pass. We'll take your picture and come back. We'll wait for you.
Okay, go up that peak.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
We'll wait. I mean, I'm not gonna, and we'll take your picture all the way too if you want us to.
Yeah.
Only thing
We're
is
at 12,650.
650.
That's
See?
not considered Continental Divide, is it?
Yeah, but it doesn't say it right here. This is the Continental Divide right here.
It'd be considered continental divide. See, right here. This is going to the Atlantic and this is going to the Pacific.
Yep.
Wrong. Wrong.
I had wrong direction.
You're exactly opposite. That's the Pacific. That goes down to Animas, San Juan, Colorado, to the Sea of Cortez.
I wouldn't have cared what. He's gonna argue with you. You ever notice that about him?
See, that's the east, right there. It's
See, he's-
morning sun, right there.
I feel that's the West.
I thought it was the West.
No, that's the east.
You sure?
Yeah, there's Pyramid Mountain right yonder too.
Yeah, he's gonna argue with me. It don't matter what.
There's the pyramids right yonder.
Where's Pyramid Mountain?
Right yonder. See that one? Looks like a pyramid.
Oh, yeah,
Pyramid
way over
Peak?
there. Yeah. I'd like to use the bathroom while we're stopped.
Well,
I hope you got-
hey,
Is that on tape?
hey, yeah, let me
Race it?
turn it off. Stony Pass right there. One of these is Stony Peak, I think, around here. Probably not those. Some dune buggies and four-wheelers down there. Look like two dune buggies. I think that may be Stony Peak right there. Don't turn this way, I'm videoing. Have to look at the sky.
Take it to show a bunch of women and I've been lying.
Stony
Right
Pass.
here.
We're at the upper reaches of. Anyway, we went on up Stony Pass, which was between our campsite and Silverton. The road turned off there by the old mine, one of the old mines, and a bridge there. And you can see Stony Pass is pretty rocky, no trees, elevation 12,650 feet. But we had not had any problems getting there at all. So, real pretty area. A little closer view of it. Another view I believe that's looking back towards Silverton, if I'm not mistaken. Looking east here from Stony Pass, where we had stopped, there were a couple of dune buggies down there. Pat said they had ran into them when they rode over before. The yellow Volkswagen dune buggy and a blue one. Anyway, the younger guy in the blue one was from Elmont or somewhere, I believe.